Hi, Brian. So, how encouraging was it to see Noah come back from obviously a tough game last Sunday to how he played last night? What does that say about him and your other boundary corner X? Just how encouraged are you by how he looked last night? Obviously, coming back from knee surgery is not easy.
I mean, encouraged. I'm not sure if that's the word. I expected both guys to bounce back. Uh, you know, X is a mentally tough guy. So is Noah. And we got a lot of mentally tough guys on our team. So look, they practice hard. They prepared for the game. They play with great energy. They played as a team. I wasn't, surprised that they bounced back. They're prideful guys. We have a lot of prideful guys on this team, um, especially at that position. Look, you got to have a short memory to play really any position in this league. Um, there's a lot of good players, and if occasionally they make plays on us, we make plays on them, and you got to be able to just move on to the next play, next game, and try to be better, which they were last night.
Steve? Steve Wine?
There we go. Couldn't find the button. Brian, you addressed this a little bit last night, but now that you've had 12 hours or so for it to sink in, what does it mean to this team to get in the win column?
I'm just checking to see the time. Yeah, it's been about 12 hours. Look, that's why we practice. That's why we prepare. We do all those things. We put all the time in to win ball games. So I'm excited for the players, our coaches, to again see the fruits of their labor. They've worked extremely hard, and now the goal is to try to string them together and we'll continue to do the things we've been doing, and do them even better so that we can play better. Again, it was after watching the tape, while there was a lot of good things, there were also a lot of things we can correct. We didn't play a perfect game. There's never been a perfect game played, but you try to make the corrections and try to play as well as you can. And while there were a lot of good plays, there's a lot of things we can get fixed. So that we can play better, play more consistent, and make it harder on our opponents. So those are the things we'll focus on this afternoon when we get to the players. We watch the film with them, and while there was a lot of good, there's definitely an opportunity for us to get better. So I think if you can improve after, whether good or bad, there's always improvement to make.
Ruthie?
So I asked Fitz about this last night after the game, but just that first drive, completing 4 passes to 4 different guys and kind of setting the tone to get a lot of people integrated early. How important is that, and how does that kind of change maybe the start of a game?
I mean, I think it's very important to get contributions from different guys. They can't lock in and key on one person and say, hey, this is the guy we got to take away. I think we did a good job of spreading the ball around, getting the running game going a little bit. Fitz ran it a little bit, so you just create issues for the defense, or our opponent, I should say, and force them to guard everyone, and force them to defend every inch of the field. That's what you want to do offensively. We were able to do that early. I wish we would have done it, sustained it a little bit better in the second half. But it's always good to get off to a fast start, and integrating everyone and spreading the ball around and getting the running game going. And, those are all good things. And they led to a fast start. Then we played well in the kicking game, played well, made some stops defensively, and we were able to string some points together and build a lead. So that's how we want to play. Fitz knows that and understands that. He made some good decisions last night, and hopefully we continue to play that way.
Travis?
Hey, Coach, you talked about the bounce back from Xavier and Noah on your first question of this presser. And during the broadcast, Troy Aikman kept talking about the shift of the defense kind of playing more off coverage. I'm curious if that's something you can confirm for us, and if that was more based upon what the defense did in week 2 or based more upon what the Jaguars presented on offense for you guys.
Well, every week we're going to try to do whatever we can or what we feel is best to win the game. I thought Josh and our defensive staff, Josh Boyer and our defensive staff came up with a good game plan for this particular team, this particular week. And it was a mix of zone calls, man calls, blitzes. I thought we mixed it well, kept them off balance. You never want to, do just one thing or, do just a couple things. You want to be able to mix the calls, mix the fronts, offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. So keep our opponent off balance. That's what we always try to do, and I thought Josh did a great job of that defensively, Chen offensively, and Danny in the kicking game. So credit to those guys and credit to the players for executing the game plan.
Alan?
Hi, Brian. What has impressed you most about what Myles Gaskin has done?
He's been productive. He goes in there. He runs it effectively, catches the ball, blocks in pass protection, plays some in the kicking game. He's tough, he's competitive, and he's been productive. So, look, if you're productive in this league, you get more opportunities, and that's been the case for him.
Josh?
Hey, Flo, sorry, in the car. I just wanted to follow up on Jason Strowbridge. Are you able to provide any detail why he wasn't able to make the trip, and if you would expect him to be ready to practice next week?
Yeah, we expect him to practice. He was inactive, and we left him and decided not to travel him. I mean, that's just a week to week, who we're going to travel, who we're not. But Stroh's worked hard. He's done a good job. He's developing. We expect him to be part of the future here. And you just got to continue to work hard and improve. And I wouldn't make too much of whether he traveled or not. So, but he's doing a very good job. And when his opportunities present itself, hopefully he's ready. Drive safe.
Hi, Brian. A dreaded two-part question for you here.
Hold on.
Well, the first one's easy. If you had any updates for us on any players who may have gotten banged up in last night's game. I saw Shaheen, for example, go down. And secondly, the main thing I wanted to ask you about, clearly Minshew is a different kind of quarterback from what you faced before. But what have you seen defensively that you can build upon, because Russell Wilson is your next guy up?
As to the injuries, so we had a few guys who were banged up, all getting treatment, all rehab, and you mentioned Shaheen. Shaheen actually went back in the game last night, so he's just getting treatment and rehab from some nicks and bruises here. So we got a handful of guys from that standpoint, but we'll see what that looks like. Got a couple extra days to improve, get better. So we'll see what that looks like next week. As far as some of the things that we've done or over the last couple of weeks, in respect to Russell Wilson, look, this is obviously one of the best players in the league. We'll do our due diligence as far as scouting it and evaluating him and the rest of their team, and trying to put ourselves in the best positions to contain him, contain that offense. But it'll be a total team effort. Just defensively, it'll be the D-line, the backers, the secondary. We're gonna have to play a cohesive game filled with really good communication and good tackling and good pass rush. Look, this is one of the best players in the league. So, again, I haven't watched all of the film yet. That's kind of the next step in my routine here after I get done, doing media. day after a game. But we know this is going to be a great challenge. But yeah, I think we've seen some good quarterbacks, some guys who are mobile over the last few weeks. But this is one of the best guys in the league, so it'll be a challenge.
Kobe.
Hey, Brian. Kobe Price, filling in for Sefton Omar from the Sun Sentinel. Wanted to ask about the defense. You mentioned the game plan they had. What specifically did they do after watching the film that you were happy with, or you thought they did better in comparison to the first 2 weeks?
I think there was better communication, better awareness. I think we just had an overall, better energy, better. I mean, it was just better overall. But I would say the communication was at the forefront. We rushed the passer better. We had better situations to rush the passer, I would say. Having a lead, rushing a passer, having a lead is different than rushing a passer when you don't have a lead. So I think, defensively, when you think about it, there's a lot of other things that go into it. How you play in the kicking game, how you play offensively. Do you have a lead? Do you not have a lead? Is it 2 minutes? Is it a 2-minute game? I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it defensively. So, we put ourselves in a position where we played well early. We got a lead, and that kind of changed their game plan, made it more of a passing game. We're able to put pressure on the quarterback, create a couple turnovers, and that's how we want to play.
All right, we have one more question. We'll go to Barry.
Brian, last night on your defensive line, Devon's snaps were down. Steeler actually played more than him. Was Devon banged up, or was that just a lineup decision? And what has led you to play Steeler more the last couple of weeks? Oh, well, Steeler's gone in there and been productive. They've been productive in practice. They went in there and had production in the game yesterday and again. Like we've always said, no different than the Myles Gaskin conversation. A player goes into the game and he has a good rush, or he has a good pass rush, or a good run, or a good catch, or a good play in the kicking game, or a good punt, or a good hold. That, to me, that warrants another opportunity to see if they can have another successful play, and that's what happened with Sealer. No knock on Gotchow. He's had many good plays himself. That's why he's played a lot in this league. And but last night, we called Sealer's number. But look, we got a locker room full of team players there, so they're happy for each other, happy for each other's success. They pick each other up when we have failures, and that's what I like about the locker room. So, I don't like pitting whose numbers against somebody else's numbers. I mean, I think we're all in here, just trying to get ball games, and guys don't care about who gets what reps. They just want to do what they can to help us win. Now, they're all competitors and they all want to play, but they also understand that we're all trying to just go out there and put the best group out there and trying to win ball games. And sometimes you go with the hot hand. And when Gotchow's the hot hand, we'll leave him in there. He knows that too.